We all know the big names, the Aaron Judges, the Mike Trouts, but we don't know some of the smaller guys, and I think it's time to show them just a little bit of love. This is the most underrated player on every MLB team. Starting alphabetically with the Arizona Diamondbacks, I'm looking at catcher Carson Kelly. Now, Carson Kelly has a career OPS of 734, but in the 3 seasons he's been with Arizona, that's 796. That's an exceptional mark for a catcher to hit. And considering this season he's got an OPS of 845, he's honestly doing some really good work. 27 years old, this guy has a lot of upside, and I feel like we just kind of forget about him because he's in the pit hole that is the Diamondbacks right now. Moving on to the Atlanta Braves, I am looking at starting pitcher Ian Anderson. At 23 years old, why haven't I heard more about this guy? This guy is a young, budding ace, a career ERA of 3.16 and a season ERA of 3.56. He's pitched for 96 innings and amassed 98 strikeouts over the course of this season, and it's not a fluke either because his FIP is 3.33. This guy gives his team a chance to win every time he's on the mound. I don't know what this guy's baseball card is going for right now, but at 23 years old, we need to be talking more about Ian Anderson. Baltimore Orioles now, and I was thinking about giving it to either Cedric Mullins or Trey Mancini, but after this year's All-Star game, I feel like we know who those guys are. I decided to go a different route and give it to a bullpen arm, Tanner Scott, 26-year-old. Tanner Scott is pitching for a really nice year right now with a 2.65 ERA over 37.1 innings pitched. He's also got 53 strikeouts during that time and 13 holds. Those strikeout numbers are good enough to put him in the 90th percentile of K rate, and I feel like having a really good setup guy is just underrated as a whole. If you're a Blue Jays fan right now, this guy would be exactly who you're looking at. Moving over to the Boston Red Sox now, and I'm saying the most underrated guy on that team is Nathan Eovaldi. Nathan Eovaldi's got an ERA of 3.57 this season over 108.1 innings pitched. He really is being the ace for those Boston Red Sox while Chris Sale is on the IL. His success this season is one of the big reasons why Boston is doing as good as they are. And I just feel like we always keep him out of those conversations of really good starting pitchers in the AL East, and I think he needs to be in that these days. For the Chicago Cubs, I'm saying it's Patrick Wisdom. Seriously, why haven't I heard of this guy? Yes, I know he's only got 203 career at-bats, but in that time, he's got a slugging of 527 and 17 home runs. That puts his OPS at 835. And this season, during his 125 at-bats, he's got a slugging over 600 and an OPS over 900. Pay attention to Patrick Wisdom, guys. He's good. I feel like this would be a great time in the video to shout ourselves out and just say, if you're enjoying this content, please hit us with the subscribe. We make these videos all the time, and we really appreciate the support. All right, guys, let's keep going. Moving over to the other Chicago team, the White Sox, I'm saying their most underrated player is Lance Lynn. Yes, I know he was an all-star, and we all saw him there, but with an ERA of 1.99 over 90.2 innings pitched, Lance Lynn needs to be in those conversations of best pitchers in the AL. The White Sox just extended him for 2 more years on a $38 million deal, and frankly, I think they got a steal. Lance Lynn is a stud. On the Cincinnati Reds, I'm giving the nod to rookie Jonathan India. India's only had 269 career at-bats, but he's made all of them count. With 43 runs scored, a batting average of 271, and on base of 395, good for an OPS of 804, India's developing into quite the player. This guy looks like he could be an incredible 1 or 2 hitter in the lineup for years to come. 26-year-old starting pitcher Aaron Civale is my representative from the Cleveland Indians. With 10 wins and 2 losses, an ERA of 3.32 and 97.2 innings pitched, Aaron truly is helping his team win ball games. I'm not sure what it is about that Cleveland staff, but their ability to find and develop young pitchers is amazing. Aaron Civale is no exception. Colorado Rockies are next, and this one was hard to decide because, well, You guys know. The choice here is CJ Cron. With an 826 OPS this season over 242 at-bats, Cron is one of the few Rockies putting together a pretty nice stat line. And at 29 years old, my dude still has a bit more in the tank. Detroit Tigers now, and I'm saying the most underrated player is Casey Mize. Now yes, I'm aware Casey Mize has some really high prospect pedigree. I feel like nobody's internalizing the fact that he's actually having an exceptional rookie season. At 24 years old, the kid has pitched 95.1 innings, gotten a record of 5-5 with an ERA of 3.59. Pitchers take a long time to develop, and the fact that he's doing this at age 24 means that Casey Mize is gonna be an ace. Another respective ace comes from Houston, except this guy out of the bullpen, and that's Ryan Pressly. Ryan Pressly is having an amazing season right now, a 1.42 ERA, 38 innings pitched, and 16 saves. In fact, ever since Pressly got to Houston, he's been incredible with a 2.34 ERA spanning 4 years. This guy just simply does not get enough credit and is an incredible arm to have coming out of the pen. Next is Kansas City, and I'm saying that Carlos Santana deserves a little bit more respect on his name. With 48 runs scored, 15 home runs, and 51 RBIs on this season, Santana has been a production monster. This is also nothing new for Santana either. He's been in the majors for 12 seasons and got a career OPS of 810. He's definitely closer to the end of his career than the beginning, but Carlos Santana sure as heck is not retired yet. Next is the Angels, and before this season I would have said Shohei Ohtani, but nowadays it's Jared Walsh. Jared Walsh has had a short career, only 517 at-bats, but in that time he's amassed 32 homers and 97 RBIs. Coming very clutch, the 27-year-old has a career slugging of .530 and an OPS of .853. It's hard to get a whole lot of recognition when you're on the same team as Trout and Ohtani, but Jared Walsh definitely deserves some. 30-year-old Chris Taylor is who I've selected from the LA Dodgers. He's in a similar situation as Jared Walsh, where he's surrounded by so much star power it's hard to get a lot of recognition. But this guy's good. This season he's scored 64 runs, got 11 homers, 49 RBIs, and a really nice OPS to go along with that. And if you look back at his several years with the Dodgers, this guy has always averaged out at an above 800 OPS dude. Just really solid across the board and helping his team win. Next is Miami Marlins, and this one was easy. It's Wonder Kid Trevor Rogers. The 23-year-old starting pitcher is a certified stud. This season alone, he's pitched for 101.1 innings and got an ERA of 2.31. A FIP of 2.5 proves that he's no joke, and a little cherry on top is the 122 strikeouts he's amassed in that period of time. Miami is stacked with amazing young pitchers, and this guy is going to lead the staff for years to come. Switching to Milwaukee, I am also looking at a young 25-year-old starting pitcher, Freddie Peralta. 7-3 on the year, a 2.39 ERA, 98 innings, and 135 strikeouts. This guy has really found his groove. At 25 years old, to have a whip under 0.9 and doing the stuff that he's doing, this guy is going to be amazing, and pair him with Burns and Woodruff, Milwaukee, you guys are set. For the Minnesota Twins, their most underrated player is one of my favorites, Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz is one of those rare breeds who had an amazing first part of their career and then actually got better in the second half. At age 32, Cruz flipped a switch, and since then he's never had an OPS under 833. He's also had 4 seasons where he's hit at least 40 home runs in that time. This season he boasts an OPS over 900, 18 homers, 47 RBIs, 42 runs scored, and he's literally 41 years old. This guy is not retiring anytime soon when he's doing stuff like this. For the New York Yankees, I'm saying their most underrated player is Gio Urshela. Since he's been with the Yankees for the last 3 years, he's had an OPS of 840, 142 RBIs, and 127 runs scored. That also goes along with a batting average of 298. He's just been a really solid contributor for them and doesn't get enough enough credit. Next is the Mets, and for them, it's Taijuan Walker. With a 2.99 ERA this year over 90.1 innings pitched, Walker has just been extremely effective for the Mets. This started after he got traded to Toronto last season and just put up an exceptional second half of the year. Degrom is exceptional and deserves all the respect, but this guy is a solid number 2. Oakland Athletics now, and for them, it's Sean Manaea. You know, we're just gonna call him Sean. Sean is boasting an ERA of 3.28 over 109.2 innings and has 2 complete game shutouts. At 29 years old, it feels like Sean has really figured it out and becoming the ace that Oakland needed. For the Philadelphia Phillies, it's Rhys Hoskins. Now, walking into this, you have to recognize he is not a batting average guy, having a batting average of 233 this season. But what he does do is slug, and he's got 20 home runs, 56 RBIs, and 51 runs scored on the year. With a career OPS of 849, he's always been a key contributor to the Phillies' success. Time for the Pirates, and for them, it's Bryan Reynolds. The 26-year-old star outfielder is having a breakout year right now. 301 batting average, 389 on base, a 520 slugging, good for an OPS of 909. He's also got 54 runs scored, 53 RBIs, and 17 homers, and that's no easy task to do on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pittsburgh, if you're listening to this right now, build around this dude. We know Tatis, we know Darvish, but do you know Mark Melancon? The San Diego Padres reliever right now has 27 saves on the year. That leads the league. With an ERA of 2.25 over 40 innings pitched, this guy just shuts the door. If you see Mark come out against your team in the postseason, you might as well just pack it away. Next is the San Francisco Giants, and I'm saying their most underrated guy is Brandon Crawford. At age 34, Crawford is having his best year ever. 58 RBIs, 18 home runs, 49 runs scored. He's been a production beast for the Giants. Nobody expected the Giants to be as good as they are right now this season, and it's largely in part because guys like Crawford are having years like this. For the Seattle Mariners, it's Mitch Haniger. This guy is another production beast with 22 home runs, 58 RBIs, and 65 runs scored. He's had his injury woes in the past, and I think that's why we don't look at him as highly as we should, but guys, with an 831 OPS this year, he is good. 32-year-old pitcher Kwang Hyun Kim is St. Louis's representative onto the list. I hadn't even heard of this guy before, but he's got an amazing ERA this year of 2.87 over 78.1 innings pitched. He doesn't have a ton of strikeouts, only 60, but I mean he's giving his team a chance to win every time he's on the mound. For the Rays, it's shutdown reliever Colin McHugh. Speaking from personal experience as a Jays fan, if you see this guy come out against your team, you will not score runs. With an ERA of 1.59 over 39.2 innings pitched and 56 strikeouts to go along with that, Colin is locking it down. Former starter transitioned to bullpen, it feels like he's really found his calling in the majors. Next is the Texas Rangers, and for them, it's breakout star Adolis Garcia. This is his first real season in the majors, and he's killing it right now with 22 home runs, 62 RBIs, and 43 runs scored. He's got a slugging of over 500 and an OPS of 817. Watch for this guy to be one of the big faces on Texas for years to come. Next is the Toronto Blue Jays, and for them, their most underrated player is Jordan Romano. With a 1.93 ERA over 32.2 innings pitched, this guy is awesome. He broke out in 2020 for the Jays and just hasn't looked back. He's still early on in his career, but we need to start looking at this guy as one of the premium closers in the MLB. Finally, we have the Washington Nationals, and for them, it's Josh Bell. Josh Bell had an incredible 2019 year where he had an OPS of 936, but he's also been pretty good this year too. An OPS of 755, 12 home runs, 43 ribbies, 41 runs scored. He's just been across the board an above average MLB player. You never really think about him with Trey Turner and Juan Soto over there, but I'm telling you, he is solid. And there you have it, guys. That is every team's most underrated MLB player. I really hope that you enjoyed that video. if you did, please hit us with a subscribe and a like, or potentially comment down below. And if you like this style of video, then give me some new ideas and I'll make it. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching.